Firestarters, things that help you to start fire easier. While there are so many ideas on the internet of different fire starters, some of them are very hard to make and take lots of time and resources. I will show you only those that make the most sense and give you the most value. Let's start with paper. Paper can be a good fire starter. It costs nothing. You can grab a piece of paper or newspaper before you leave into your campsite and you already have a good fire starter. What's wrong with paper is that it burns really intensely, but for a very short period of time. So you can't just leave paper there and hope that everything will go fine, because most likely it will not. You will need to sit nearby and make sure that you put those little sticks, little tinder on top of that paper and that it catches fire. In terms of paper, there are different types of paper, and newspaper will be the best friend. Cardboards, especially those cardboards that are not very good, they have 3 layers. The oxygen will get to both sides of it very well, so they are really good. So the worse the cardboard, the better it is for starting fire. So if you look at this cardboard, it has 7 layers. The oxygen will not get inside there and it will not burn, so it's just wasted space. And also, if you compare the color of this cardboard to this one, you will see that this one is gray and this one has some more orange or maybe even pink. So it has some treatment on it, and this treatment doesn't burn very well. So choose this type. This one can be also good, but it has paper glued on the other side. Not very good, because only one side will burn intensely and nicely. The same with this bag from delivery. This side is covered with some plastic. It will not burn very well. This type of paper doesn't burn at all. This is just plastic. So let's really quickly see how it burns. Let's probably take a few of them. Okay, let's start with this plastic one. And it dies. So no good. Let's try this one. And you see, you have a fire starter already. But it's not intense. You see, as I said, oh, actually, yeah, as I said, this one is not good. It has lots of treatment, it just dies easily. Let's just drop it there. Next, let's try a piece of this cardboard. And let's see how it grows. So as I said, with paper you need to sit here. You can't just leave it and go and do other things. You need just to sit here and take care of it. Look, do you see the difference? This one burns really good, and you can just do it here. On one side it will not burn very well again, because only one side will burn, the bottom will not. And finally, let's take paper. I'll just take a bit. Cardboard is also good because it takes more time for burn, so it's more chance for wood to catch fire. Well, paper burns very fast. Okay, and you need to turn it. So you see, you need to work with paper. So that's why we have fire starters. Okay, let's go and I will show you some fire starters that you can use. So the next one that doesn't take lots of time to make, and actually takes just a few seconds, is a fire starter made of this cotton, how's it called, cotton puffs, and Vaseline. Again, you can make lots of this just in 1 minute probably. You just unroll it, take a bit of Vaseline here, put it there, just spread it. It becomes even waterproof. Probably I have enough for one more. That's sticky. So let's put it here. It makes them more or less waterproof. You can also put them into paraffin. We will have some paraffin today, so maybe we will try to do this. And like this, you have a cotton ball ready. You can roll it, put it into a bag like this, and you have enough fire starters for half of your season here. Well, I don't have enough right now. Okay, let's try one. I will just put it here. Then you tear it apart so that you have this long strings that can catch fire. And here you go. So this is a great fire starter if you don't have time. It doesn't burn for a long time. It's quite stable. I will try to blow on it. See, it keeps burning. So again, if the conditions are good to middle, then it can be a good fire starter for you. Very cheap, and you can make it very quickly. Okay, I'll leave it there. And the next type of fire starters is all fire starters that you make with paraffin, because paraffin is a great fuel. Well, here we have Vaseline. It burns nice, but not for a long time. It melts very quickly. With paraffin, paraffin burns for a long time, and you can basically put anything in paraffin and it will become like a very good candle. Let's see if I have something here. Yeah, I have a few here. So these ones are made of these cotton discs, and they're in paraffin. Here are some more. Let's take one. I will show you how this one burns. So, I will use this one. Start fire. This one is completely waterproof, but it takes time for it to actually catch fire, because the paraffin here is so dense. I will put it this way. Yeah, it's really easy to make. I have a few videos on that. See, it keeps burning. So basically these two basic fire starters will already solve all your problems with starting fire. See, it's enough time for wood to catch fire. Okay, now I will show you how actually to make those fire starters. To do that, we will need some paraffin. I use just an old tin can, and I also use candles because you need paraffin. If you try to buy paraffin in blocks, it actually costs more. So it's much easier and cheaper to buy just a pack, maybe a few packs. This one costs just $1.25, almost nothing, and you put just candles here. It's okay if you don't break them really nicely, it will all melt anyways. And let's put it on fire. We'll actually try to use our fire starters here to start the actual fire. Oh, it's all melted. See, even when I threw it down, it keeps burning. Okay, let the fire grow. In the meantime, we can start with preparing fire starters. Okay, so I will show you a couple, but again, as I said, whatever you take and put in paraffin will burn very good. It all depends on its size. And the smallest one will be a match fire starter. So how you do it is that you make a loop here, you leave something beyond this tip, then you just wrap it around, leave some space at the end, you cut it off, put the tip through the loop that we left. So this will be one. Oh, the fire is good now, so let's put our can there and wait. So you can take a couple of matches, and again you make a loop, wrap it around, cut it off, tuck it in, pull the other end, and that's it. Let's make a couple more, maybe one. Again a loop, okay. This is one type of fire starters that I sometimes make. Then another type will be if you take a piece of paper, not like that, let's take it this way, maybe let's take scissors. So take piece of paper, roll it. This one is actually great too. I don't make it very often. I used to, because now I have my favorite one, and I will show it next. Alright, and you just make a few knots. And this will also go into the paraffin. And another knot. Here we go. Okay, now let's get back here and I will show you my favorite fire starters and the strongest ones. So if I were to make fire starters, I were to choose one fire starter to make, I would make this one, and I always make it. So you need this carton box from X. You put something into these cells. It can be anything. You can find some sticks in the park, you can find some dry grass, you can put some maybe acorn. In my case, I will put some paper. It basically doesn't matter what you put there. Even a piece of rope will work too. You just need something what will hold paraffin here. Oh, by the way, this is something what I made long time ago, but paraffin, if you leave it for a long time, and especially when it's cold, it will just start crushing like this. See, so this one is cannot be used anymore, I think. What else can be put there? As I said, if you don't have anything, put some rope. Put some rope there. This will also work. Piece of acorn. Many people use sawdust as an ingredient for this type of fire starters. And sawdust has a number of benefits over just paper. First of all, sawdust burns for longer. If you put just paper, like I have here, it will burn for around 10 to 15 minutes. Sawdust here with paraffin will burn for 15 to 20 minutes. And so this is benefit number one. And the benefit number two is that it burns a little bit hotter than this one. Well, I personally don't use sawdust. First of all, I don't have sawdust with me all the time, and just taking a saw and cutting a piece of wood just because of fire starters doesn't make sense to me. That's first reason. Second, sawdust fire starters tend to be a little bit heavier. And if you're traveling by car, you're fine. A few extra grams will not play any role. But if you're carrying your fire starters and you have from 10 to 20 fire starters with you, this weight adds up, and over a few days or maybe a week of hiking, every gram matters. Another thing is that sawdust fire starters, they light up harder, so it takes more time for the lighter to be nearby for them to start catching fire. With paper ones, it's way easier. So considering all this, I wonder if you really need sawdust in these fire starters, because your fire normally will start in 5 minutes after you put the fire starter under the wood. So the wood will catch fire in 5 minutes. If the wood is wet and it needs more time, more heat, just add another fire starter like this. Nice! Look, just a few minutes and we have so much done. Let's check our paraffin there. Just one candle is left there. Let's wait a bit. What else I wanted to show you is, so if you cover these fire starters with paraffin from all the sides, then they become waterproof like this. And again, let's open it up. It got a little bit of water because it was not covered completely, but once it reaches the paraffin, it turns into a good fire starter. Nice. Okay, I think we will take our paraffin now. It's all melted. Bring it over here. Let's free up some space. Okay, I will need a piece of paper. For our fire starters, where we will put them. So with this one you have a choice. You can put it into wax from completely like this. In this case it will become again waterproof. If waterproof is not that important for you, you can just put the body of the fire starter there and leave the tips here, because it will you can just then easier start the fire, because this is still a match, right? And this one I will just put all together. There will be another round. Now this rolled paper also goes into paraffin. One side and the other side. This one is almost hardened, almost solid already. 2 rounds will be enough. Two, and this one will go completely in. This one is still wet. And then you just take all this paraffin and pour it here. All these bubbles that you see here, it's the water, all the moisture that is in the box and in the cone. It starts just bubbling because the paraffin is so hot. So that's why you need to be so careful. And maybe let's put this one more time inside. I almost don't have paraffin anymore. There. All right, let's leave it here. Once it hardens, we will test our fire starters. Here I want to mention another type of fire starter. It's just made of fabric. You can use any natural material and paraffin. So the idea here is that you roll a piece of fabric into a nice ball. It doesn't need to be tight because we want air to get there. We roll it this way just to keep it together and not to make long strings. So you put it this way, and then you just dip it into paraffin, and after that you will get a ball like this. This ball can be waterproof if you cover it completely in paraffin. And then in terms of lighting it up, you can find the loose end, open it up like this. By the way, these fire starters are also pretty strong. We'll take a lighter. Pretty strong. I doubt that they have any drawbacks compared to the fire starters made of cotton box. I mean the egg boxes. So you see, and it's already there. It will be hard to stop this fire. You see, really good, and it will burn for a long time, even longer than the egg carton ones. So this one is very strong. If you want it to burn more intensely, just open up the whole ball of this fabric, and it will burn more intensely because more fabric will catch the fire. So this is just another option if you have fabric that you don't need. And I think most people do. All right, let's see. This one is ready. This one is 2. That one, it will take more time for these ones to harden. Then we will just cut them into cells with scissors, and it's good. We will have a dozen of fire starters. While we are waiting, let's take a look and test the ones that are ready. So I will take all these ones with me and put them here. So let's take the box of matches and see if it will be possible to start fire with these ones, just using them as normal matches. Doesn't work well. Perhaps these are the wrong ones that I dipped. Yes, those were the wrong ones. And here you go. So this is the smallest one, the match and rope fire starter. You can see how it burns. Now let's test the other one, made of paper, rope and paraffin. Okay, and here you can compare the two fire starters. I'll try to blow on them, and let's see if they can withstand that. See? Another test, water test. Still there. No matter what I'm doing, still on. Okay, really good fire starters. Now let's work on these ones. Still a little bit wet, but we'll get started from the other end. And I don't need all of them. I will just take a couple to show you how it works. Let's take these two. You can put obviously much more stuff here. I don't have much, but let's see how it catches fire and how it burns. And I really like how they look. Right, and this one is on. So here I will show you how I started fire with Firestarter in the real conditions. It was dark night and it was very windy. I had to hold my phone in one hand, and I had only one hand free, my right hand. Also, the wood that I found near the fire pit was very thick, and I didn't have anything to make it thinner. No axe, no knife, nothing. And my lighter is not very strong, but still, as you can see, this paper, this carton from egg container, it it catches fire really easily. And in this here I'm trying to turn it upside down so that the fire gets to the paraffin. I fail with it, but you still can see that the paper is red, meaning that it's still hot. And this is a very good feature of this paper. Once it catches fire, it's even if the fire is gone, it will keep being red, meaning hot. And here fire reaches the paraffin and it becomes very stable, and wind cannot even the strongest wind cannot put it out. In terms of how I set up this wood for this fire, I left the left side on the ground, and for the right side I raised it with a few logs. So it's kind of like a shed for the fire. And once the fire starter caught this fire, I could cover it and made like a house. So it's windy and there was enough oxygen for the fire to start growing. And once you see that smoke coming from the top, it means that the wood started catching fire. So I think it took me about 2 minutes for everything with just one hand. Without the fire starter, I would not be able to do that. And if I removed all this wood, I would see that the fire starter was still there and it was not burned to the end. So that's why I think that it's enough to have just paper and a little bit of paper inside this carton cell. No sawdust is needed. It's more than enough. So here we see how the fire is growing, and after that I would just need to put these thick logs above it. And this is another example of how I started a fire with these egg carton fire starters. This day conditions were way better, no wind, and it's daytime, so way easier in general. So again, lit up one of the corners above the paraffin, and then it really quickly gets to the paraffin, and then the fire becomes very stable. Here I arranged the wood in the form of a log house. So I have a few layers, base layers of wood, and then on the top I just put more wood, and in this case it's much thinner wood. I had my axe with me and my knife with me, so it was way easy in general. And you already see how the fire gets to this thin wood, and the fire is started. It took me probably less than a minute. So again, I doubt that you need anything stronger than these type of fire starters, and you don't need to think too much what to put there. Sawdust that would give you 20 minutes of burning time is not needed. As you can see, all you need is just maybe a couple of minutes. So here are all fire starters that I showed you today. And my recommendation for you is to focus on this type of fire starters. That they are really easy to make and they start fire guaranteed. And this type, if you have some cloth that you don't need, made of natural materials, synthetic will not work here very well, so you can make these ones too. Also, these fire starters are waterproof, so if you cover them a little bit better in paraffin without this left or missed spots of fabric, they will become completely waterproof. So that's also good, and they are light, very light. As for the other types of fire starters, I use them only as a backup. So if I run out of these fire starters that are stronger, I usually use just backup fire starters. But this is the time when I start planning making these two types of fire starters. Why I like the match and rope fire starters is that I can just keep them in the box of matches and they are always with me. Also, the Vaseline ones, you just keep them in a bag like this and leave them somewhere in the car or in your backpack. It weighs absolutely nothing. And the same with these ones. So I hope that this video helped you with deciding what type of fire starters you should make, what makes the most sense.